In this session, I wanted to talk about the strategies for getting customers beyond the pandemic. My name is Anne Gachuhi. I'm a digital marketing strategist and e-commerce consultant with the Exponential Digital Trainers. Small businesses are using technology more and more, and as a result of the pandemic, there is a huge growth in e-commerce businesses. Past the pandemic, more and more small businesses are using technology to reach their customers. But the challenge is knowing the right strategies for using this technology. The three big technology companies are consolidating their data, and that's the reason it's affecting small businesses, and that the small businesses are now getting to pay more. The three biggest technology companies that businesses use to get their customers via paid advertisements are Google, and that's through Google Ads, YouTube or YouTube Ads, Facebook and Instagram Ads. These three companies take up 77% of all paid advertisement money on the internet. For example, from June 2019 to November 2020, Google alone has seen a 50% increase in revenue and use. And of course, the big tech companies that are dominating this paid ad are Google, YouTube, and Facebook. Facebook is the #1 social media network in the world. It's got 1.62 billion users daily. 74% of these users are high-income earners. And Facebook gets over 8 billion views per day. And that's a huge number of eyeballs. Google, on the other hand, has over 2 million sites, which reaches over 90% of the population in the world. It's double the size of Facebook, and of course with big sites found on Google. Advertisement on Google has also increased in cost by over 40% in the last year. The big technology companies' consolidated data is affecting the small businesses. You've seen in the last year, there was a big fight between Facebook and Apple over big data and privacy law. They called it the iOS 14 upgrades on Facebook. It's really affecting small businesses and causing an increase in paid advertisement. Because what is actually happening behind the scenes is that these big companies, they are fighting over data, but they are calling it that it's the reason for it is for privacy law and privacy protection. That's what Apple said. But because of this, these big companies are not sharing. They don't want to share data amongst them, so you're left in the middle as a small business, and that's the reason your ad costs are increasing. So you can see here, even in this graph, that prices keep increasing worldwide. Your advertising strategy, of course, is getting affected. So advertising on Facebook has increased, and I've felt it, because most times, let's say before you used to boost a post with just $10. Now you're finding Facebook is forcing you to even use $60 on a boosted post. Of course, it depends on the niche. But for sure, the increase in pricing of advertisement has made it a little harder for small businesses to be able to know what to do. The three big tech company ads, Google last year, they made up over $92.5 billion. YouTube made over $34.6 billion. And Facebook, of course, made over $25.5 billion, which accounts for more than 83% of ad spend online. So small businesses have to be smarter, and that's what I'm calling the smarter advertising strategy. Small businesses have to start getting their own data and use a combination of these three tech companies, Google, YouTube, and Facebook, in their advertisement. In the past, people used to pick one or the other. You could decide to advertise on Google, and maybe you didn't advertise on Facebook, or you could advertise on Facebook and Instagram and don't advertise on YouTube. But right now, it's smart for small businesses to start getting their own data by being able to work with these three companies and finding out where their customer base is. So small businesses have to work smarter. They have to have a comprehensive roadmap for driving traffic to their businesses. They have to combine the three traffic sources from Facebook, Google, and add in a smart way using a small budget each month. Now, I want us to talk about a concept called the return on ad spend. You probably have had a lot of big online advertisers calling it ROAS. So as a small business, you need to increase your ROAS, your return on ad spend. So more and more small businesses have to be able to be concerned about their ROAS. So what it means is that if you spend $1, you get, let's say, $2. That is a 2-to-1 ROAS, return on ad spend. 2-to-1 is not bad, yeah? So you need to find out, how do I do that? How do I increase the number of people I get by spending less? There are 3 strategies for small businesses to get more customers. I'm going to talk about those post-pandemic. First, you have to decide on the right audience targeting. The second thing is the right ad creative and ad format and strategies and campaign strategy. So you must decide whether you're going to use videos or images or both. And the ad creative, of course, matters based on your audience. And then the third strategy is the right channel strategy, whether you're going to use Google, YouTube, or Facebook, or a combination of those 3. So step 1, the right audience targeting. The first step towards smart advertising is having the right audience targeting for any of the 3 channels of advertisement. You must be very clear about your right audience. Who is your customer? Where do they hang out? What is their social media channels of choice? Are they more on Facebook, on LinkedIn, Twitter, WhatsApp, or any other channel? What are they watching? What are they aware of? What are their problems that you can find the solutions for? Do they have money to pay? Because you're looking for players with money. There is no need to advertise to people who cannot pay for your services. Now, step 1 is the right audience targeting. We just talked about that. Find and create the ideal target audience for your business and on each of these 3 platforms. You should be able to leverage the audiences from one platform to the next using the data you have gathered from each platform. Select the right audience on each ad platform, and then find your audience lifestyle, where they spend their money, what they buy, their hobbies, what they watch, and where they spend it. So getting all this information about your audience will really help you so that when you start advertising on any of those platforms, you're going to the right audience. You're not having a broad advertisement covering everybody and everyone. The second step is having the right ad creative. Each of these big tech companies have their own formats for creating paid ads. YouTube, Google, Facebook, and we'll look at some examples in a few slides here. The strategy is to diversify your traffic source across Facebook, YouTube, Google. Combine the platforms so that you're able to find the right traffic that gives you a positive ROI, return on investment. After you test the different traffic sources, decide on the best one based on your audience performance. For instance, YouTube advertising formats include in-display ads, in-stream skippable ads, in-stream non-skippable ads, overlay ads, sponsored cards, and so on. You probably have seen the skippable ads. Sometimes you're watching something on YouTube and then an ad comes on, it plays. If that ad played for 30 seconds, the person who created that ad does not get paid. If you watch it until the 30 seconds, they only start getting charged after the 30 seconds. So, of course, they can also use that ad to collect more data about their customer, their ideal customers. Let's talk about how to make your offer. You need to find out how to sell without selling. The 5 steps you need to make your offer that closes the sale every time are crafting your offer message, which is your pitch, creating a strong call to action, which is your CTA, including your story as part of your offer, nailing down your timing, and expert rehearsal strategies. Now, the reason I'm talking about the offer here is because whether you're using YouTube or Google or Facebook, you need to be able to create that offer that is going to convert that ideal audience that you have already identified. So, how to create an irresistible offer? Step 1, your offer is your pitch. It is the backbone of your business. It is the way you inspire clients to work with you. You have to learn how to pitch your services, your products powerfully. How to craft your offer message is therefore very crucial. Knowing how to make a good offer that is irresistible, relatable, creates an emotional impact, or creates trust and thoroughly explains what you have to offer without being salesy is important. Creating the right offer message will create authenticity to your brand and we'll make those sales and sign up consistent. So let's again look at how to pitch your programs or services. Learning how to pitch powerfully will change your future. Whether you have a service, a business, or an e-commerce or digital, selling will be an important aspect of that business. Whether you're talking to your clients face-to-face, on the phone, or via advertisement, knowing how to clearly articulate your message and craft your offer is key to your success. So after you have already managed to identify your audience, and of course, the other steps we talked about, how to pitch your programs or services, it's important to practice creating your expert offer that will book your customers over and over. When you combine the strategies for identifying your audience, creating the right offer, using the right platform to advertise your business on Google, YouTube, or Facebook, you'll be successful in your business going forward and post the pandemic. We will continue with this topic next week, but in the meantime, I want to invite you to get my free strategy session. You can click on the link you see here, or you can go to our website, which is exponentialdigitaltrainers.com, and you'll be able to sign up for a free 30 minutes strategy session where we can talk about your business, we get to know each other to see if we are a good fit for each other, and then of course we can move forward. We can discuss any of the topics that I've discussed here, or how I can help you being able either to identify the right channel for your advertisement, how to craft your offer, and of course how to identify your audience. This is Anne Kachuhi. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.